Hello everyone. In our previous videos, we have referred the concepts which are related with the concept of operator overloading. In our today's session, we are going to cover and complete this particular portion of unit number 3, the programs which are related with the operator overloading and type conversions. So in our today's session we are going to refer two programs which are based on the operator overloading. Number 1, we are going to overload operators using friend function, and number 2, we are going to see the programs which is related with the type conversion. So in our today's session we are going to refer these two programs, but before starting our today's session, I would like to discuss two programs which we have already covered in our previous videos. Number 1, unary minus operator, that means unary operator, and the program which we have developed, that is called binary operator overloading with integer data type. I would like to recall these two programs because our first program in today's session is related with the binary operator and unary operator, right? So what is the requirement of friend function, that I am going to teach. But before that, let us discuss or let us revise unary minus operators. In unary minus operator, what we have performed, when you are going to overload operator minus, at that time it does not contain single argument. Remember one thing, that unary means single single operator, right? Single operands, right? So what is the concept we have applied over here, that when I am going to overload unary minus operator, in that case is my argument list does not contain any argument. Now see the second program. This is the second program, binary operator overloading. Now binary means 2, right? But remember one thing, that when we are going to overload binary operator like this, right, at that time in the argument list we are able to apply only single object, right? So over here we have applied single object only. So in the case of unary operator, we do not have any data in the argument list. Similarly, while in the case of binary operator, we are having only single argument as a argument list of overloading operators. So to avoid this kind of problem, we are having the concept of friend function. Let us develop the program related with the friend function. First of all, let me give the comment line. What is the requirement of friend function? Example of operator overloading using friend function. Now overloading of binary operator multiply two objects using friend function. Over here we are going to overload operator multiplication using friend function. Now what is the requirement of friend function? See, this thing you need to write in the journal also, this comment line. Don't skip it, because when you are going to refer it during the exam session, at that time it is easy to understand the concept of friend function. And this program is very important in the 5-mark questions. The questions may ask in the exam. So please refer the program properly and write the comment line in the header portion of your journal. Now you can use friend function to overload operators in place of member function. Now it takes one argument to overload unary operator and two argument to overload binary operator, but without using friend function. It takes no argument to overload binary operator. It takes no argument to overload unary operator, and it takes one argument to overload binary operator. Let me show this once again over here in the notepad file. In this program, this is the program which is related with the unary operators, and in unary operator we have not passed any argument, and in the case of binary operator we have passed just one object as a argument, and that thing we have written inside the comment line, that suppose you are going to use friend function. At that time it requires one argument to overload unary operator and two argument to overload binary operator. But when you do not use friend function, at that time it does not have any argument in the unary operator, and similarly it contains one argument as a binary operator. So let us start with the program. Has include iRstream.h. I hope you have cleared the concept of friend function, that what is the requirement of friend function when you want to overload any operator, and when you want to apply two arguments in the case of binary and one argument in the case of unary. At that time you can use the concept of friend function. Has include conio.h. We are going to create class numbers. Inside class number we are going to declare two variables a and b, public keyword, void get data, integer x comma integer y, a equals to x and b equals to y. A is the variable, a and b are the variables which are declared inside the class number, and similarly x and y are the variables which we have placed using the argument list and the get data. Now we are going to create one function void display, which will display the value of a and b. Cout \n value of a is a, cout \n value of b is b, friend numbers are the return type, and that is the name of class. So using this particular function we are going to return the object. Operator keyword, we are going to overload multiplication operator, number n1 comma numbers n2. See over here, we have taken two objects in the argument list. So this particular program is referred as the overloading of binary operator. We have overload multiplication sign over here, and numbers is the class name of class, and it is a return type of particular module. So we are going to return the object, and as we have taken two objects over here, so we have taken friend keyword over here. This is the syntax, right? So numbers is the return type, operator is a keyword through which we can overload any operator. Over here we have taken the example of multiplication, and in the case of binary we can pass two numbers or two objects in the argument list, and over here we have used the keyword friend. Now friend function can be declared outside the class like this: numbers operator multiplication numbers n1 comma numbers n2. Now numbers n temporary variable we have declared n dot a equals to n1 dot a multiplied by n2 dot a. Similarly, n dot b equals to n2 dot b multiplied by n1 dot b multiplied by n2 dot b. And now we are going to return n. N is the object. Remember one thing, that n is the object of number class, and we are going to return the object using this number return type. Only the concept of friend function contains, you can take or you can define any operator overloading using friend function. Generally in the case of binary or unary operators, when you are going to overload any operator, but when in the case of binary you just need to define two argument list, in that case use or declare that function as a friend function, and friend function can be declared outside the class. In that we have taken two objects, number one n1 and n2. So n1 dot a multiplied by n2 dot a, that multiplication we are going to store inside n dot a, and n dot b contains n1 dot b multiplied by n2 dot b. So it will return the object n. Object n contains the value of a and the value of b, and we are going to return it to the class number. Now let us develop the structure of void main. CLR SCR and get ch, these two are the functions we always use. Now we are going to create the object of number class n1, n2 and n3 for the answer. Now I am going to call n1 dot get data 5, 7 and n1 dot display. So what happens now? n1 dot a contains 5. When you call get data, then n1 dot a contains 5 sorry, n1 dot b contains 7. Now what happens? We are going to call display function. So n1 dot a print 5 and n1 dot b print 7. Now we are going to call get data function using second object, and in second object I am going to pass 2, 3 and I am going to call display function. So when this get data function is called, at that time n2 dot a becomes 2 and n2 dot b becomes 3. And when you are going to print that value, at that time it will print value of a is 2 and value of b is 3. Now we are going to overload multiplication operator. So n3 equals to n1 multiplied by n2. So this will call overloading of this particular operator. Now what happens? What is the value of n1 dot a? That is 5. In this case we have already written this value. So 5 multiplied by value of n2 dot a, that is 2. So 5 multiplied by 2 equals to 10, and which is the value of n dot a. Similarly, n dot b contains, what is the value of n1 dot b? n1 dot b contains 7. So 7 multiplied by n2 dot b contains 3, this one. So 7 multiplied by 3, that is 21. Now I am going to print n3 dot display. So this line will print these two values, that is the value of a is 10 and value of b is 21. Let me save the program first. Program number 8, operator overloading. So O8 I am going to give the file name, then execute the program. See the output. Object, first object contains A5, B7, second object contains A2, B3, and the third object contains A10 and B21. But remember one thing, this is not the concept. The concept is only about friend function. You are able to use friend keyword while you are going to overload any operator. The requirement to have friend function or to use friend function in the program is what? When you are going to overload any binary operator, at that time you can give two numbers in the using friend function, and in the case of unary operator you are able to pass single numbers. But when you do not have when you don't use friend function in the program, in such cases unary operator does not contain any argument and binary operator contains single argument. So only the difference to use friend function is this one, right? So I hope you people have cleared the concept why we have used friend function over here, and I have already given long comment line regarding the friend function, that why we are going to use friend keyword while you are going to overload any operator. Let me take one new notepad file. This is the last program of our today's session. We are going to take the example of type conversion. 3 ways we can convert basic to class. Number 2, class to basic, and number 3, class to class. In 3 different ways you are able to convert the data type of any variable or any object. Now see, whatever the data type which are available in the C or C++, that data type can be referred as a basic type. Say for example, integer is there, or character is there, or float is there. These all are the data type which you can refer as either built-in data type or basic data type. So using basic data type, we are going to convert that data type into the class module. It is called, we are going to convert basic to the class. Reverse operation, when we are having one class in which we are going to convert that class into the basic data type, that conversion is known as class to basic. And using one class, you are going to convert it into the next class or second class, that is called class to class conversion. So in C++ you are having such kind of facility, or you are having that concept which is called type conversion. There are basically 3 types of type conversion: basic to class, class to basic, and class to class. And this question may be asked in the practical as well as theoretical exam. Let us implement the structure iostream.h, conio.h. One more file I am going to include, that is string.h. Now see, first task what we are going to do, that is we are going to convert basic to class. So for that, see, I am going to convert character into the string. So over here I have taken data type name, class type name as a string, and as we know that C++ is a case sensitive, right? So for that I have created class name which is starting from the capital S and string. Now what happens, we are going to create our own data type, string data type, right? So for that, public keyword character S of 25, we are going to create the parameterized constructor of string class. So when you are going to create the object of string class having one argument, at that time it will call this particular parameterized constructor. Now strcpy s comma s1 cout, we are going to print \n basic to class, that is B to C, again \n, and we are going to print S. Next, operator character pointer S1 equals to new character strlen s plus 1 and s1 equals to s, and that conversion is known as \n class to basic \n s1 . Now we are going to convert third one, that is called class to class, right? Class integer, I am going to create one class having name integer, public integer number, again integer parameterized constructor integer num, number equals to num. Now operator string, in that we are going to just print \n class to class conversion \n and variable number. Now void main clear screen and get ch. Now over here character A1 25 equals to Rajkot. Now string, this is the class which we have declared, right? So string S1 equals to A1, A1 contains Rajkot, character pointer A2 equals to S1, integer, again we are going to convert class to class conversion 3553, this is the number which I am going to pass with the object, and S1 equals to I1. Let me save the program first and then I will explain the given code. Operator overloading 9, this is the last program of this half unit also. Let us execute the program, see the program properly, then I will explain the given code. First output is called basic to class conversion, and we are having Rajkot printed on the screen. Similarly, the second output is related with the class to basic conversion. So C to B, that is class to basic, and it also prints Rajkot on the screen. Similarly, class to class conversion, which contains 3553. Remember one thing, that when we have passed 3553, the data type of that particular data is of integer, but we are converting the integer value into the string, right? So that conversion is known as integer to string conversion, and here 3553 is the data which contains the data type of string. Initially, when we have passed the data, that data type is integer, but after that we have called the string data, and the data type of 3553 is string. Now let me explain the program. First of all, it will clear the screen. Character A1 25 and Rajkot. So A1 contains string Rajkot. Now what happens? We have created the object of string class, that is S1, and I have applied S1 equals to A1. So when we create object of any class, it is created and it will call this particular module, and we are going to copy the given string Rajkot into the S variable, and it will print basic to class conversion, and Rajkot will print. So first output will be basic to class and the string Rajkot. See first two lines of the output, right? Now what happens? We have created the object, we have created the variable of character class, but over here pointer is used, right? So first of all, what is the value of S1? That is again Rajkot. S1 equals to A1, we have already initialized over here. So S1 also contains the string Rajkot. Now what happens? We have used pointer operator over here, and over here we have overload that operator. So now what happens? What is the value of S? S contains Rajkot. So we are going to store, what is the length of Rajkot? 6. 6 plus 1 more. Why 1 more? What is the requirement? Because any string contains last character as a null character. So when you are going to use pointer, at that time you need to initialize that value by incrementing 1, because the last character of any string would be of null. Now we are going to store Rajkot into the S1, right? And we are going to call it as a class to basic conversion. We are going to convert the class into the basic data type, and such kind of conversion is known as class to basic conversion. And last one is called class to class conversion. I have created one class called integer. Similarly, I have created one class called string. Now what happens when you create object of integer class? Value becomes 3553. So number contains 3553. But now what happens? We have passed S1 equals to I1. S1 is the object of string class and I1 is the object of integer class. So we are going to initialize value of I1 object to S1 object. But remember one thing, that S1 contains character data and I1 contains string integer data, right? So now what happens when you are going to call this particular operator, at that time it will go into this particular module, and what is the value of number, that is 3553. So it will print class to class conversion and it will print 3553 on the screen. So when the question is asked in the exam, at that time you need to write all the three types of conversions: basic to class, class to basic, and class to class. Remember one thing, that basic is nothing but it is the inbuilt data type which is given by the C language or C++, that may be integer, character or float. So we are going to convert this particular basic data type into the class type. In the reverse operation, we are going to convert class type into the basic type, and we have taken string and integer both the class. So when you are going to apply I1 equals to S1, in such cases we are going to convert class to class conversion. Let me share the notepad file for both the programs which we have explained. Number 1, this is the first program of our today's session, that is called operator overloading using friend function. Let me scroll down the notepad file up till get data. Up till the object of number class. You need to write output in the journal also, and using any online compiler you can use, or you can convert this program and you can execute program using any online compiler. And the type conversion program of operator overloading. Let me scroll down up till string overloading. The another class, that is class integer, we have created. So this is all about our today's session. Remember one thing, that our each unit is divided into the two different types of topic: operator overloading and type conversion. That is the first half of third unit that we have completed today. In our next session, we are going to start with the concept of inheritance, and which is the most IMP concept based on the practical point of view. So be careful regarding such. Thank you all.